Hey, hello, and welcome to episode 137 of Nolo Time. My name is Obed Velez, and with me is the guy with the worst kept secret, Mr. Joel Young.
What's good, Obed? What's good, Nolo time? I like that fun little nod, Obed. That was pretty on target. No man, it's been
Stay
good
on
to see
target.
you. Yeah,
Good
stay
to
on
see you.
target.
Good to see you,
Oh,
sir.
good to
Hey,
see you.
whenever the opportunity arises and I can make a Star Wars reference, I will make it.
All right, Obed One Kenobi. Uh, no, I man, it's good to see you, dude. It's been a nice last day or so now. Took some time off this week, I know, but you're gonna be taking some time off yourself, and it's strange having during a world health crisis having some summertime stuck inside is kind of interesting. I'm used to travel and obviously like Comic-Con coming up and all these other things, but you gotta make the most of it, you know. So I mean, we're indoor people in general by nature, I think you and I, but regardless, it's still interesting. But still, we'll make the most of it.
Yeah, absolutely. The hardest thing is probably going to be not being able to fully go out, especially now that we're getting restrictions again this week. Thanks
Yes.
for all those numbnuts that went out and not wear their masks and not wash their hands.
Yeah. Wash your hands. Wear
Friggin'
your mask,
idiots.
guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for flattening the curve, but not in the just to actually flatten in the other direction. But yeah,
It's real. It's a real problem. Like, forget
dude.
what you read. It's real.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, man. With all this like gatherings and stuff happening, we'll see how things, stay. Hopefully, we can be out of this, and in the next couple of months, I'm hoping we're still working from home, and it's been an extended period. Can't complain though. It's been
Yes.
quite quite the learning experience, and I think a lot of people, us included, of course, but other people that were stuck in an old world, sort of like analog phone line mentality, now are able to comprehend that these things are, um, we could have uh, done this a while ago, and
Yes.
now, luckily for us, we made the push at the right time to move tech into the right direction in our at our workplace. So I'm happy that I was part of that initiative. So
Super fortunate.
yeah. But yeah, man. What's up, dude? I mean, anything new? Chilling.
Yeah, I'm chilling. Like I said, I had some time off yesterday. I went to the beach. For those of you that are watching the video version, probably seeing Joel's got a little of some sun. For sure. I got some good sun out there for a good few hours. No, it's that's some of the stuff that's still doing that, but while doing it wise, right? Where
Yeah.
washing your hands, staying far away from people. I mean, there's plenty of ways to do it if you do it right, and thankfully it wasn't crowded to the beach that I chose to go to. I know there's certain beaches out there that I see very large crowdings, and had that been the case, I would have changed plans. But thankfully,
Yeah.
I was in a good situation.
Yeah, same here. I actually went over the weekend, and it was pretty crowded. But you can still find your space where you can
Right.
be, far apart from people. And I'm not too big into just going in the water, so I just stayed,
Yeah.
over in the shore. I mean, I did get wet because my daughter's like, I want to go into water. Gets a wave in the face. I don't want to go into water. So you gotta go the other way, right? Uh,
Nice.
so it was one of those, but it was good. It was a good time. I mean, the weather was really nice, and
Yeah.
over the weekend, and it wasn't too hot, and like I said, it was crowded, and I went to a popular beach,
Sure.
but I was still able to have a good time. So
Yeah, I found one of those beaches. I'm not going to give it away my spot, but it's one of those spots that tends to have a lot of the a crowd that is not on the younger side that keep to themselves, and I like that. So
okay,
that's where I tend to go. And no, it was quite nice as well. Weather was really nice. Had some nice clouds keeping it well, and also some good winds. So cool you down. But yeah, I'm not much of a water guy myself either. But it was refreshing. While I was on the
Yeah.
beach, I did something that was pretty cool. I like to always bring a book with me. So I went out there and brought a Secret Wars with me. So I just sat out there and just read for quite a while. I'm quite familiar with the storyline, loosely keeping up with it, but it was nice to sit down and actually go through and have some time to read
Nice.
through my copy here. And yeah, really cool stuff. I can totally see why many that people that I've talked to, when the news broke out about Fox making that deal with, or rather Disney making the deal to acquire Fox, 20th Century Fox, why the instant gut reaction was, now we can see Secret Wars become more of a possibility. It's like there's no basis aside from the X-Men characters being in, prevalent X-Men and Fantastic Four characters being very heavy in the Secret Wars comics. There's nothing that Marvel has done to show us that the Secret Wars is coming or anything like that. But when you sit down and you read the storyline like this and you see some of the events that are unfolding, I'm like, not a direct adaptation like anything else that they do, but I could totally see them having a loose adaptation of Secret Wars coming at some point. I'm not saying it's going to be anywhere near this near future, but I could totally see it coming down the line because it's a really great arc and a lot of really awesome characters, and totally one of those what we're used to Avengers level threats. It's totally bigger than that. It's Marvel Universe level threat, which is really cool because now they have the pieces in place to continue to fully flesh out their universe and continue to expand it and bring it together at the same time. So yeah, sitting down reading it, I was like, yeah, I could totally see this coming.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, it seems to me that that's probably where the future of the MCU or something similar to that is going to go to.
Right.
So yeah, that's cool. Do you see that? We're not jumping into the news just yet, but Wonder Woman got pushed.
Yeah, October.
Yeah. So, bleesh,
So
oh, it's
so so I'm a big AMC guy, and I'm sure you saw the news about them too. They're reopening.
so I okay. So yeah. So I heard something about that, and I think something on their wording was kind of weird, but yeah, if you can elaborate on that, yeah.
Yeah, I got an email from AMC today that would like sent out a full on statement on the reopening and what their plans are. Super long email, basically saying that Wednesday, July 15th, they're going to be opening approximately 450 theater locations around the country, which is about 90% of the movie going at AMC. So there's just a very small amount of them that are not opening up. Um, and then they said that basically by the end of July, they should have essentially all of their theaters will be open by exactly the end of July. So July 15th is kind of a soft opening for majority, almost everything, and then everything by the end of July.
Yeah, because
Of course,
Tenant hasn't moved.
right. So they actually
Yeah.
said that this means that AMC will be here for you with open arms, welcoming you to Disney's inspiring Mulan and Warner Brothers' release of Christopher Nolan's Tenet, along with several more superb movies now scheduled for July theatrical release. So they're straight up saying we're on schedule. These things are still told to us they're going to be coming out. Obviously, Cinemark has said they're reopening. Also, Regal recently came out and said the same thing, that they're reopening. But yeah, they're AMC. They also went really at length to say that, look, like we're not in a place where our business is going to shut down. We got over, what was it, like $500 million in funding we got from somewhere else that didn't
They found
operate on it.
yeah, they got a loan. Well, the thing is that they were
Yeah,
looking for they were looking for that exact amount. That's what I heard.
yeah,
They were looking for like a $500 million loan, um, for because if not, if they weren't able to secure that loan, then they would have filed for bankruptcy.
right.
Um, so good. Okay, so they were able to secure their funds, and I'm sure that people are still going to go to the theater, and
Especially Mulan and Tenet. Those are two big films for families and for movie going audiences.
yeah, I mean the big thing would be, our concession is going to be open because that's where they make their money, right?
Yeah, so I mean, I know there's like one movie theater that's closest to me that they, when this whole news opened up that Florida could reopen their movie theaters, they didn't reopen their theater, but they just put a sign up and saying you can come in and just buy popcorn. That's all that they're selling. They literally were just selling popcorn.
Wow.
So
Okay.
people would come and literally just buy popcorn and I guess candy or whatever. So I would imagine that they would because they kind of have to, but from a safety perspective, like, is that whole look going to change? Like, even if you're serving, like, what does that look like? Does that look like everything has to be ordered only through an app, kind of like Disney Springs, how they have the opportunity you can order through the app and just walk up and pick up your own stuff? I mean, that would be pretty awesome, but I don't know
Yeah.
what that looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting for sure, man. It's gonna be interesting when Disney opens back up because that's gonna dictate a lot of what these guys are gonna do, like movie theaters and this sort of experiences, entertainment
Right.
experiences. I mean, Universal opened, and from what I've seen, it's pretty empty. Which I'm tempted to next week actually just secure the funding and go to Universal.
So a guy that you and I both know, that he actually has been going there, and he's been putting pictures out there online, and I texted him about it, and he was saying that it's great, like it's super clean, everybody's wearing their masks, there's plenty
Nice.
of hand sanitizer like everywhere you turn.
Good.
There's like really not much of a concern. It's probably safer than going to a supermarket, which is a great
Probably.
feeling.
Yeah,
So
that's great.
so I actually would not feel as concerned. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what I'll do. I was planning on painting this room next week, so we'll see.
Oh,
We'll see.
beds,
We'll see
honeydew
how that
list.
goes. Well, I gotta. There's I changed part of the house entrance, and when I
Okay.
changed it, it's been like a year, but because of all the storms that we've been getting, and I also pressure washed the front of the house not too long ago. Like I stripped some of the paint away, so it looks awful. So I wanna just go ahead and take care of that. And I was thinking, I was like, might as well just paint this room, make it a little manlier. Um, and
Man cave.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Can you get a
Uh,
no load time emblem just like printed on like the wall behind you?
I could, yeah, I definitely could. Um, but yeah, I've been thinking of just doing that. And like, I mean, little by little, I've been appropriating this room more and more. So I'm quite excited about that.
That's awesome.
But yeah, man, not much on my end, dude. It's been a busy week at work, and just looking forward to my time off for sure. So I can't wait. Well, we can actually talk video games. Oh, you know what? Before we jump into video games, Joel, can we talk Rebels spoilers for like 5 minutes?
Dude, go for it. I've been waiting for this moment for a
Okay,
while.
because I haven't finished. I'm like 3 episodes
Yeah.
away, right?
Yep.
But I got to the episode where it is established in the Star Wars canon that time travel is possible through the Force.
Right.
Um, and I want to talk about this episode specifically. So for the next 5 minutes, if you don't want Star Wars Rebels spoiled, you've been warned. Final warning. So bro, like straight up, Ahsoka died in the Sith temple when she
Absolutely.
was fighting Vader. Like she was trying to, basically trying to get away from Vader, and she died in the process. And then Ezra was able to grab her through those time portals. Um, I Here's what I thought when that episode ended. Right, it was to me. It was I kind of felt like when I finished watching Last Jedi for the first time.
Wow.
Like I kind of had to like walk it off, sort of thing, right? And I started thinking, because there on that episode, I mean, it is established again, time travel is possible, and within the Force, the basically you can access the space time continuum. Um, because I was watching it with subtitles, Joe. I don't know if you watched that episode with subtitles, and Ezra hears Ray,
Yes.
talking, and he hears Yoda when Yoda's training Luke, and he hears Obi-Wan when Obi-Wan's talking to Luke. So like he's hearing things that have not happened, right?
Important moments in the Force,
Exactly. So
future and past.
here's what I think of this episode. This episode is, and I again, props to Dave Filoni, because he's a genius, and he was able to introduce a reset button in the Star Wars canon, because I think he knew what was going to happen with the sequel trilogy.
Wow.
And I think he
That's
knew what was
bold.
going to happen, and he was like, I gotta introduce something crazy where I can bring Luke back if I want
Wow.
to. And I thought of that as like, oh, man, because you can technically bring anyone back. Um, like you could potentially go back to the chancellor's office and prevent Anakin from turning. Like, it's nuts. Like, this is like crazy stuff. And then also it shows why Palpatine was knew stuff that was going to happen, and it was happening behind the
Yep.
scenes, because he's somehow connected to this place, or he's able to at least have some sort of vision into this place. He cannot control it in the way that Ezra and Ahsoka could to some extent, but he could definitely peek in, right?
Right.
He can peek into this world, or peeking into this like middle of the universe force trail, or whatever you want to call it, right? Um, and that's why he knew so much. Yeah, dude. Uh like, this season's been like no filler, and it's awesome, dude. It's been like nonstop, and I love it. Like,
Yes.
by far, this season's like the freaking best, dude.
You get a large payoff. Like, it's worth sitting through. That's what I tell people. Like, if you've got to sit through this, the other stuff to get to this, it's worth it.
Yeah, and
Totally
and
worth
I
it.
just realized that Star Wars has a failsafe. Like,
Yes.
if for some reason what happened with, again, not hating on the sequel trilogy, because I still enjoy those movies, right? Um, but if they wanted to, they could reset everything. Like, if they wanted to, they could, change who Kylo Ren is and all this stuff. Like, insane, dude. Insane. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to ending this episodes, and I want to see where it really goes when Mando comes out, because we know.
There's a lot of stuff that's been coming out around Mandalorian season 2 and Ahsoka's role in it. And like, I just say be careful, guys, that don't want to stay away from spoilers on the
Yeah,
internet. But
yeah,
like,
I haven't
it's
been getting into anything
I
yet.
purposely have been trying to stay away, but I fell into something this last week, and I was like, oh snap, like, okay, and I believe it because it's sensible.
Yeah, and
So
based on what we know from season 2 of Mando, it's crazy. It's like they're going like all out, like.
and they should, because
Yeah,
we were promised a show that would be HBO level, if not more, like money and quality put into
yeah,
it. And they gave us an incredible, high quality, different look at Star Wars on the first season. And with the reception for it, like, why not go crazy with and you
yeah.
and I both said at the finale of last season, like, there's a lot of things that you're gonna have to bring in because they totally set up some major
Oh
connections
yeah,
that you can't, like, blink an eye and go
yeah.
other, like, it would make no sense to the
Like,
rest of Star Wars. Like, how could this not be connected to other stuff?
yeah,
So
like that ending shot alone just connects Clone Wars and Rebels.
oh yeah.
Um, and I'm assuming that the new game Squadrons
Let's get into
somehow.
it.
Let's get into it, because Hera's
Mm-hmm.
in the trailer, in
Yep.
both trailers. So yeah, EA announced Star Wars Squadrons. It is a $40 game, and it's basically a pilot, Star Wars pilot. I don't want to say sim because I mean it's still up in the air, right? We haven't
Right.
really seen like full on sit down a gameplay breakdown of it, but from what we can see, it's basically a spiritual successor to what X-wing versus Tie Fighter was back in the day. I have thoughts because I like what I see, right? And if they get the controls right, this could be a very very good game. Again, $40 game. They did confirm today because EA had an event today that this will have a single player campaign,
Yes.
and it's gonna have like full customization of your pilot and your ship, which is freaking awesome, dude. When I saw this, like, dude, yeah, so I'm really excited about that. Um, and then we know that this is a couple of years after Return of the Jedi, so this is probably around the same time that or maybe before Mando is is happening. Mainly because of two things. It seems like the Empire sort of still organized when based on what they showed on this trailer, versus on Mandalorian, where the Empire is like like basically like it's more of an underground sort of movement. What's going on with the Empire on Mando? So yeah. The big thing again is that Harrison Dula is in both trailers. He's on the
Yes.
story trailer they showed on Monday, and then like straight up today, she's like giving you directions, and yeah, it was great. It looks good. I'm not sure what engine they're using, but it looks very good. It looks very good, Joe. What's up? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm so happy to hear about the campaign. I think that was the big point for me that got me the most excited because you could have on the surface judged and said it's a $40 multiplayer game it's you're in Star Wars, but it really doesn't have that much of a whole story really behind it. It's just a fun gameplay, right? But like having an actual campaign, that's the part that gets me because I always love to dive deeper into the lore of Star Wars. And then not only are they doing this campaign, but they're also like when you clearly put in a character like Hera Syndulla in there, like that's enough to again get me super excited and intrigued. We know that she becomes a general. That's even if you haven't seen the end of Rebels, if you've seen Rogue One, you know that they straight up say General Syndulla. So yeah, I mean, I look forward to seeing further gameplay behind it. The gameplay look that we had today from the EA event makes it look like it's really beautiful. And it's funny when they started talking about VR in the event. I was like, okay, that
Yeah,
sounds really cool, but also like for someone like me, it could be a little trippy. Like, I don't know. I've,
yeah,
I've had very limited encounters with VR, but the few I have, I definitely feel very immersed. And something like that in space, dude, I'm gonna be like, whoa, my brain's got to catch up to all this amazingness going on around me because it's some very heavy future tech that really immerses you and makes you feel real. So I actually would want to play it like that at some point, but I don't know if I could take it the whole time.
yeah. Um, yeah, it looks good, man. I'm kind of excited, and it being a $40 title, I'm sure I'm gonna get it. It's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be
Star
fine.
Wars.
Yeah, and it's Star Wars. Um, yeah. Um, not much else to say other than it's gonna be crossplay.
Yes.
So between the multiplayer is gonna be crossplay with basically PS4, Xbox One, PC. The game will be available on Origin and Steam on PC, which EA made a big push for it tonight with their event. And they also made a big push with crossplay when they announced that crossplay is coming to Apex Legends, and Apex Legends is coming to Switch, and everyone can play with everyone. And I think that's the future. And we talked about in the past when, especially when Sean Layden uh, left PlayStation, and, and when Jim Ryan took over, Sean Layden pushed back a lot on the idea of crossplay, and I think that that's something that the industry was moving to,
Hmm.
and and PlayStation was not playing well with that idea, and I think that probably was part of what happened. And we mentioned it in the past, and now it's even more clear to me that more than likely one of these discussions happened, and um, yeah, and it happened. Well, I mean, it's here now, right? So everything that EA is putting out there is crossplay now.
I would love to see that be the future of gaming in general, more
Yeah,
crossplay, and that having that ability to say I'm playing with an Xbox user and a PC user and a PS4 user all simultaneously. I'd love to see that be a part of the future of gaming more and more, because you and I know plenty of people. I'm sure that they're like, hey, I have this console only because my friends do, but I really want to have this thing. And
yeah,
it's like I only have this because I play with my friends. Like, well, future that would it not benefit everybody to play nice? Because if someone really wants your console,
yeah,
they'll be able to get it.
yeah, absolutely. Um, just going back to the EA event, not much to add here other than that they showed the gameplay. Oh, I'm sorry, October 2nd for Star Wars Squadrons.
Yes.
Um, their EA is coming up with a new expansion, season 5 for Apex Legends. And again, they announced the crossplay coming in, I believe, in the fall with the Switch version. They announced a new game by Joseph Ferris, the guy that berated the Oscars at those Game Awards a couple of years ago. The game is coming. The game is called It Takes Two, and it comes out next year. Our design looks really good. Kind of reminds me that the style of gameplay reminds me a bit of Brothers, based on what they explained. Brothers being the first game that Joseph Ferris worked on, so that looked pretty good. Um, uh, okay, so I want to talk about Rocket Arena, Joe,
Sure.
because Rocket Arena looks like a fun game. Like, this looks fun. Only problem I have, I don't know about you, Joe, but I'm kind of tired of the Fortnite like graphic style on games.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm being turned off. Like, it's fine because it was charming, right? The first time when Fortnite did it, but now all of these games look like Fortnite, and I'm just not liking that, right? Maybe it's an art style that's easy to do on UE4, and it's something that you can carry over easily to other platforms and all this stuff, right? But um, and that could definitely be the case. In but but it just, I don't know. This launches in a couple of weeks, though, July 14th. But it looked fun. It's basically a battle royale where everyone has a rocket launcher. I mean, it looked fun. I mean, there's nothing
Yeah.
else to say there. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's watching like the stuff that they put out for it. I was like, maybe I would play this if a friend had it. I don't think I would, necessarily want to go out of my way to play something like this online just out of pure fun. Like it's just not for me personally, but I could see the appeal of just jumping on and playing that with your friends online.
yeah, yeah. They teased FIFA and Madden for next gen. Um,
Yeah,
and you know, yeah, it's gonna be next gen, and there's not much to say other than the
to be
graphics are better.
expected.
Yeah. One surprise at the end, though, Joe, because people have been asking for this game for years, dude, for since like the PS4 came out. And it's a new Skate. I mean, they're calling it Skate 4 on news articles, right? But they said, basically that it's a new Skate game. So yeah, Skate's back. Um, yeah, I mean, people wanted it, so now you have it. Uh, Overall, it was a very condensed event. Not a lot of filler. Um, I think it was very good. I think it
Yeah,
was,
I enjoyed it.
yeah, I enjoyed it. Even though Grant Miller was hosting, I still enjoyed it. It was fine. You know, I'm fine with that. It's, whatever. I ain't hating. It's, so it's fine. Um, but yeah, I mean, overall, I think it had a a nice little event there. So yeah, quite exciting. I mean, what we were just talking before we started recording that. I mean, what's the possibility of Ubisoft doing something like this? But then, they've been like putting stuff here and there with Xbox. Uh, you know,
They're not much really coming out, it seems like, at the
yeah,
moment.
yeah. I mean, I think the next big next gen thing that's probably gonna happen is the Xbox July event where they're gonna
Right.
show Halo and I guess their first party lineup for the release of the Xbox Series X. I got it right. I've been practicing. I've been practicing, man. So yeah, I mean, that's probably gonna be their big event. Which, I mean, it's probably a good segue that there's a supposed leak of a Xbox Series S machine that
Yes.
is going to be substantially cheaper based on the information uh, compared to the Series X. Um, the leak says that this is straight up a digital console, no disk drive. So they're kind of following the PS5 uh, model. I mean, we're assuming that they both knew that they were both going to come out with a non-disc console. But yeah, it's leaked. It's not confirmed. The supposed leaked render or leaked image of the console looks interesting because it looks like it's half the size of the Series X. I'm wondering if it's half the power.
Ooh.
I mean, because it,
There could be there could be. Yeah.
yeah, because at that point, right?
That could make it a lot cheaper.
If you go half the power, you're looking at a Xbox One X, sort of specs. Um, so I mean, they could very well do like an Xbox One X top of powered console with the upgraded CPU with a faster CPU and the SSD. And I think they would be able to get away with that for like 350, 300, because this thing's supposed to be like super cheap, like compared to the Series X and the PS5.
Sure.
So what do you think, man?
Well, I'm okay with this. Understanding with what we just talked about last week on the PlayStation event and how they, put out the standard edition and the digital edition of PS5 being formally announced. I feel like seeing the same thing happen for Microsoft is a really great situation for them, giving that versatility, because it's easy for me to say, sitting here with my opinion and no data behind it, just saying like, oh, people only want to have physical copies, or going the opposite way and saying everybody streams everything, who cares about physical media. That's easy for me to say. I think it's best to see what does the market tell us, and really it's not been done on the market to this level. There's always been you have your ability to pop in your physical copy and download in one device. But when you separate the two and you make that price point be a big factor for it, now you start to really see who really wants what. Like, what does the gamer want? And so, I'm going to be really curious to see when this stuff drops, should this be true. And I'm sure it is. Like, really curious to see what kind of numbers we begin to see early on. It's going to be hard to tell, right? Everyone's going to be buying everything or whatever. But, as we kind of progress through this next generation, I'll be curious to see what people do, because I am conflicted myself, to speak, on my desires now. I'm like, okay, understand that there's a digital edition of consoles. Like, what would I do? What am I going to do? I don't know. So, obviously power, because to your point, Obed, if power comes into play, if there really is a significant power drop off there, then of course, like, that's probably not going to be very appealing to the Xbox guys. I think the Xbox gaming community, I think they do appreciate the power that they've been able to wield on their consoles. That's been a huge moment of theirs, right? The Xbox the Xbox One X has been this powerful, amazing console, and I think that they would probably want to get their hands on something that's more powerful again. So if there is a power issue there on this being almost like a less than version, and it's not just digital, but there's also some specs changes, that's going to be
Yeah.
a huge intrigue factor. We'll just have to wait and see, right?
Yeah. Uh, I think, yeah, but based on the information that's here, is that the they're saying that they're ready to release the Xbox One X at 400. I
Okay.
don't. I mean, the Series X. I'm sorry, I'll call it the Xbox One X again.
You just got it right like
Ah,
a few minutes ago, Ben.
jeez. Okay, so which again, let's go ahead and bring in our next story, which is basically that supposed PS5 leak from Amazon France. Amazon France being notorious leakers, and
Yep.
if it's on Amazon France, there's like a 90% chance that it's true.
Yeah.
Um, you know, this is not like take it with a grain of salt sort of thing. This is like almost like a set in stone
Basically
scenario.
gospel now.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like Amazon France leaks are basically gospel. So they're saying that the PS5 digital edition is going to be 399 euros, and that the one with the disc drive is going to be 500. Um, Again, I'm not sure how expensive it is to come up with a uh, Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray drive. I don't think it's that expensive, but it makes me think that there's there's something else to the console.
Hmm.
Like I don't think that digital edition is gonna have. There's gotta be something other uh than the disc drive. Um, and I was looking at both consoles again, and the digital edition to me it looks a lot more appealing than the one with the disc drive. The disc drive looks like it, it's wearing a cast, and it's like it's not part of my body, sort of thing. It looks kind of weird. Um, but the thing is that I have a lot of disc PS4 games, and if this thing is gonna be, you know, somewhat or even fully backwards compatible with PS4, I want the ability
Yeah.
to play those games, right?
Yeah.
So to me, there's no going around it. That being said, Joe, if the price is correct, um, and let's bring in our next story.
Yeah.
We can just mesh them together.
Yeah.
And they're saying that Horizon Forbidden West is going to be released next year. That's when I'm going to buy the console.
Okay.
So I'll buy the console when Horizon comes out. I'm not going to buy it this year. Um, I'll probably just buy. I'll probably get it with Horizon and Ratchet when it comes out. I usually like to buy two games. Um, I think this controller is going to be really expensive, so I'll probably have to hold off on that. I
Might
mean, you
want to
can
buy a
still.
controller before you even get the console. Just
Oh, I know, right? I should ask
like
for a controller for
stocking. Yeah.
Christmas. I
Yeah.
should ask for a controller for
Seriously.
Christmas. Yeah,
Come on, little Billy.
it's not a bad idea. Yeah, little Billy. Um, so just putting everything together, right? Um, the idea of an Xbox Series S coming in at 400 is not out of the question. Like they could very well charge 400 and 500, and then PS5 can match. So I think that's gonna be I think that's what we're looking at, Joel, for because I made a prediction, right? I made a 499 and 450. Uh I mean, but now we got information, right? And it looks like based on the evidence that we have and based on the information that we have, that looks like a probability that this is going to be the price points. What do you think? Are you still jumping in because of Miles, or what are you doing?
Yeah.
Although there's clarification on that, if you want to talk about it.
Yeah, well, can you say it first for 1 second? Because I gotta pull something up on here.
Okay, so the Miles game, it and I and when they showed it, I sort of mentioned it, that I wonder if this is going to be uh, a whole, like if this is Spider-Man 2, or is this going to be like the Uncharted, uh, sort of spin-off game they had, and they confirmed that this is going to be a sort of like a spin-off game, because there was conflicting information. This is going to be the original game ported to PS5 with the additional Miles content, but then Insomniac came back and said, no, this is, an expansion, not an expansion, but a standalone experience. They didn't necessarily compare it directly to Uncharted, but the comparison's there for you to make. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure I got my facts right on that game too. Why Irene said that's why I want to bring up my stuff. But yeah, they're they're touting it as it has a full story arc, sure. But the content that you're gonna get for the story is comparable to Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, and like Uncharted: The Lost
A
Legacy,
lot of people like it.
a lot of people like it. People swear by it. I get it. However, it doesn't have the same impact that like obviously in Uncharted 3, Uncharted 4, what right the regular series. Um, is it enough to get me to buy day one? I am conflicted, sir. I sense
Ooh.
conflict in me.
Oh,
Yeah, because
wow.
Joel Young has a lot of things on his wish list, some things that cost a lot more money than other things. However, Spider-Man, my boy, anything with that world, you've got my attention, including something that's small. Obed, if it would have been a Star Wars game at launch, I would be the exact same boat. If it would have been, I would have still been like, do I get this?
What if
Do
it
I?
would have been? What if it would have been Squadrons, like a PS4 port of Squadrons?
That's a good question. So
No.
I probably would still feel, to be honest with you, conflicted, but maybe not the same because it's like Squadrons doesn't have it like it's the world of Star Wars, but like it's not as on the nose as like a
Oh, okay.
Miles is, where it's like okay, like
Oh,
it's a
okay.
fully
Okay.
fledged Spider-Man character. But still, I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I'm telling myself right now, I'm getting Squadrons. Like that's just there's no way around it. Like I'm pre-ordering
Yeah.
that game. It's happening, right?
Yep.
So if I'm that way about that, I can only imagine how I'd feel about this for next gen. But that's where I keep coming back and forth to this digital versus physical like thing, man. Like, okay, so now seeing these prices that you just brought out, like $400 is not bad if I'm gonna have the same features except for just a regular 4K Blu-ray disc. Like if I'm not gonna have that regular disc, but I already have a 4K player, Blu-ray player, okay, that then I could consider that. But if you're talking things like backwards compatibility or something else that we're just not aware of, um, then I would feel worse just getting than just settling for $100 cheaper and missing out on a bunch of stuff that's probably worth more than $100 to me. Like
Yeah.
backwards compatibility is worth more than $100 to me. I mean, you spend at the time when a brand new game comes out, you spend $60 on it, right? Like and there's some of them that have come out on PS4. There's some of my very personal, really lovely games that I just really enjoy. I mean, Spider-Man PS4. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
there's different things out there that I've played on PS4 that I would love to carry that experience over, and it would mean a lot to me. It would be worth that extra $100 for the next the standard edition
Uh,
rather.
like here's the thing. I'm wondering what they're going to do with the PS4 when this thing launches.
Hmm.
Because here's what I would do, right? There's 100 million PS4s out there, thousands of games, some absolutely fantastic games. That some of the game, dude, some
I
of the
know.
best games I've played in my life, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been playing games since freaking Combat on the 2600 back in 1982. Little
Back in
Obed playing,
Obed's day.
dude. And I would, if I'd be Sony, I'd be willing to continue that, right? What I would do with a PS4 is to discontinue the original PS4 and make a PS4 Pro Slim, and I wouldn't change the name, right? I just do a PS4 Pro Slim, sell it for $200, and then get the digital at 400, and get the one with the Blu-ray at 500. And there's your PlayStation family, and you can keep that Pro in the market for the next 2 years, man, and still sell PS4 software. And that developers are gonna still make PS4 versions of their games, like third-party studios. Um, I would get one of those PS4 Pros for $200, dude. I would get one.
Man,
I would get one. And then I would hold off for the PS5 until something like. I mean, I would
what are
wait
they
until the
now? Where's the
Horizon.
pros price now?
Dude, still $400. It's $399. It's
Wow.
ridiculous. I mean, you can't find it anywhere.
Right.
Well, I haven't seen one in the wild in the wild man, since the pandemic started.
So
Since
I
like
wonder,
yeah,
I wonder, Black Friday, this thing comes out. Like you gotta, not you can't just bundle in games to keep it. Like you know what I mean. There's got to be a price cut for last gen if next gen's going to be coming out, because that's the other thing about this thing. Did we talk about that on the this France leak that also it's November 2020,
the,
November 20th, 2020?
November 20th. Yeah, Black Friday is the 27th. That would make total sense.
Right.
Yep. But this is not a Black Friday item, though. This is
No, no, no. That's what I'm saying.
for
Past gen,
this
like
year.
PS4
Yeah,
Pro.
absolutely. Yeah, that's what you want to sell on Black
Right.
Friday. Um, I would just do when the price for this thing's announced. I would just do a substantial cut,
Yeah, you have to.
and you gotta
$400 PS4 Pro and a $400 PS5 digital. Come
that is
on.
ridiculous, dude. Ridiculous. I mean, you can buy an Xbox One X with Fallen Order for $300. I saw them at Best Buy, dude.
Oh my.
I mean, granted, no one's buying them, but it's but right? I don't think you can find them now, but I saw them. But like back in like February, March,
Right.
yeah, beginning of March, like anything like after March, like after mid March when we went on lockdown, it's really hit and miss with game consoles. But especially the Switch, like
Oh, I know many people looking for Switches and
insane,
they can't.
dude. There were Switches on Amazon 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they just got to keep going back every day and checking, like in the morning. Yeah. But yeah. Um, interesting stuff. With the pricing. I'm not ready to jump ship yet. I mean, I will have to see. I will have to wait for the final price. Like I posted a meme over the over last weekend, right? Like me after the PS4 gets revealed, and it's a dude just vacuuming, and the girl
Yep.
sitting down and
Yep.
doing the
Taking good
dishes
care.
and cleaning the house, right? Um,
That's why you're painting.
so no, so I mentioned it to my wife, and I was like PS5. She's like, you got money? Okay, whatever. So she doesn't care. So I could straight. I'm being the one that's like, I don't see the reason why I should get this now, and have everyone beta test it and have it overheat at their place instead of mine, and then I can grab the second batch or the third batch or whatever.
I just feel like customer service is so much better now that even if you did have a mess, like they've learned from past
Oh
gen,
yeah,
I
yeah,
would hope that like if like, a million PS4s just started to melt, like they would be like,
yeah,
PS5, excuse me. They'd be like, don't worry, guys, we got
yeah.
you.
My only concern is what would happen if my PS4 dies, like the one I have now.
And you don't have anything.
Like that's my concern, right?
It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
That'd keep me up at night.
I got a game on PC, Joe. What the heck? The
Oh,
horror.
they're Obeds, man, we got ratings to keep.
I built a gaming PC and I despise every time I have to touch settings on it, dude. It's like it's been 2 months, man. It's been 2 months, and I got the performance where I want it to be. Right, I eliminated thermal throttling on my GPU, and I'm getting really good FPSs on Gears of War. It was like super steady, 75 frames a second locked. It was it was everything on high, phenomenal, right? But every time I have to go in, touch a freaking setting, and just it's like, I don't want to deal with this
I
thing.
mean, like I could see the appeal for some, but
Yeah,
not for those of us that spend that much time working on machines just as you do, and just to go back home and
yeah.
the
I mean,
dangle.
things run fine for the most part, and
You just want to jump in and play your game, man.
exactly like I've been enjoying, like again, like Final Fantasy VII Remake, Battlefront, which is like full of people. You should check it out, man.
I need
I
to. I
went
need
again
to.
this morning, and Noobs were there, and it was great, dude.
Nice, nice.
That's great. It's really good.
That's awesome.
It was a lot of fun because again, we got a mix of like noobs and older people coming back in. So it's good. It's good. Good times.
But
Good times.
but like to your point, that's one of the big selling points for like
Exactly.
next gen, right? You jump right into it, and the no load times, hence our name. That's a huge selling point for me. Just when they start marketing that, hey, I could just jump in faster. That's a pain. I don't know about you, Obed, but it sometimes pains me certain games when I'm playing. I gotta just
Yeah.
wait for this thing to load. I'm like, oh my
Fallen
gosh,
Order was a disaster.
oh my
Those load
gosh.
times were atrocious.
You just sit there and watch your ship just. I'm like, no,
Atrocious.
no.
Yeah, and then every time you died, you had to wait for like a minute for everything to load back up. It was ridiculous, dude. Um, and it's the same with the mini games on Final Fantasy VII. There's one mini
Yeah.
game specific that made me actually like rage. Like I had to play
Obed.
it with my
Fingers
headphones
the
off,
path to the dark
dude,
side.
and I wanted to get that trophy, and it's like, you know what? I'm not gonna platinum it because I'm not coming back to this crap.
It's too
And
long. The
and
waiting.
yeah, and it was because of that, right? Because if I can hit retry, um, and it'll just reload it for me. That's perfect. But no, I have to wait for like 15 seconds for it to load me back out, and then talk to the guy and activate the mini game, and then lose, and then go, and then go back out. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm done. It's fine. Um, but yeah, for me, when Horizon comes out, because Horizon, it's again, they're touting it that it's going to come out next year. We don't know. This thing just got delayed today. Cyberpunk
Yeah.
to, was it November? From yeah, it was.
I'm not
Let's
sure.
on the fly.
Fact checking.
Delayed again until November. So it's been delayed 3 times already. It was coming out September 17th, and now they are saying holiday 2020. They're not really giving you a date. Um, but they're saying that more than likely it would be the week before Thanksgiving. So yeah. Oh, November 19th. So November 19th, that's the date, dude. That's the next gen consoles. That's that day.
Has to be.
That's that day. Yeah.
Will I be in line?
I don't know. Gotta see more miles probably for you. But the last bit of news, nothing super crazy, but out of nowhere, they announced a new Pokemon Snap coming out for the Switch. Um, and this really was out of nowhere because no one was expecting a Pokemon Snap right now. Um, I remember when Pokemon Snap came out on the N64, everyone was really upset. It's like because they wanted Pokemon on the N64, like an actual full blown Pokemon game on N64, and they
Yep.
got Snap. So I remember people were like, "Oh my god, it's like taking pictures and you can't fight and do anything," and then no, it was just like it's going on right now with um The Last of Us. Oh, game has girl, wee. So yeah, it was kind of like the same thing back then, but with Pokemon, which I think is more important than people anyway. So yeah, Pokemon Snap, not no date announced if I'm not wrong, right?
No, no date.
Yep, being developed by Bandai Namco. It's probably one of those games that they had on like a contract or something with Bandai Namco. But yeah, it's coming out on Switch. Looks cute. I showed it to my
Yeah.
daughter. My daughter thought it was cute. So
Switch keeps on progressing, man.
yeah,
It's I've been playing that a lot myself. So I find myself playing my Switch a lot more than even my PS4 recently. I go back and forth, dude.
yeah. Um, I haven't played Switch in a while. My daughter's been playing a lot of Yoshi's Woolly World, or not Woolly World. I'm sorry, Crafter World. Woolly
Okay.
World was the Wii U version. But she
Ooh.
keeps asking me. I was like, "Hey, do we have a Wii U?" I was like, "No one has a Wii U, kid." So,
How much are those things even going for
oh
now,
my god,
dude?
probably a lot. Let's see.
Wii U. Who wants to
Wii U
buy a Wii
shopping.
U? Refurbished at GameStop, $129.99.
That's not too bad.
No.
Yeah, games are probably cheap. Well, not really because they didn't sell a lot. So yeah, it's probably not worth it.
No.
I mean, everything that you want on Wii U is already on Switch. Almost. We're missing the Mario 3D World and the Zelda HD. Um, was it Wind Waker and Twilight
Although I
Princess?
must, as much as I joke about the Wii U, like I gotta say, it's because the Wii U failed so bad that we got something great as Switch. Like
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
they learned so much from Wii U. Wii U was just a test for them and such a learning opportunity, and they just are thriving with the Switch. And I really believe that we wouldn't have what we have with Switch if it wasn't for what the Wii U uh,
yeah.
trailed way for.
Switch is a pretty good device, man. Like for real. Like if
I
you're
have
into
so
tech,
much
like
fun
if
on
you
it.
look at it and yeah, the build of it, it doesn't feel cheap at all. It's
No,
no, it's a very well built machine. I gotta give him props. And again, that Pro controller is probably the best controller I've ever played with. To be honest with
yeah.
you, so yeah, good stuff. You know what I'm probably gonna ask because I've been struggling again with the PC stuff. Is this freaking DualShock 4 that I've paired to my PC with a
Uh,
Bluetooth dongle? I'm probably gonna end up buying an Xbox One controller with a PC dongle and just use it for PC. That way I can leave that here. Hey, you know what?
I
Those
want to
Xbox,
see that on the show. If you get that, I
those
want to see you
Xbox
hold
One,
that up.
those Xbox One controllers are not bad at all. I gotta say
No, they're not. No, they're not.
they're pretty decent controllers, sir. I'm not a big fan of batteries though, but you know what? For the amount of use it's probably gonna get, it'll be fine. We'll see if I can find a good deal on it. I'll probably buy one. So we shall see. Joe, that is what I got, sir. Unless you have anything else, let's wrap it up.
That's it, guys. Thank you again, all of you, for watching and listening to us here on No Load Time. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you, Obed, and all of our listeners. So go ahead and stay connected, stay subscribed. Go ahead and follow us on our social media at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Of course, like I said, be subscribed. Subscribe to our YouTube videos. Subscribe to our podcast version, our Spotify, our iTunes, or Google Play, or SoundCloud. It's a great way to stay up to date on all of our latest episodes as they drop. And additionally, we always welcome you to contact us, reach out, send in questions, feedback, comments. We are available via email, noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. Thanks for watching and listening, and we look forward to seeing you all in our next episode.
Thank you guys. We'll see you again next time.